global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Already the drama has begun in earnest. A few hours ago it was a case of Senator Dixon literally telling the whole world, telling Nigerians that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu missed the golden opportunity to write his name on gold over the issue of reversal of state of emergency in Rivers State. Of course, the press release went viral. Check out playlist to get to see the full video of what he said. It was powerful. It was laden with so much, impartation. Nigerians reacted very positively to it. Most Nigerians actually, but of course, one of those who did not like it at all, who did not find it funny, have decided to also release their own. Is Sen.Seriake's or the lawmakers loyal to Sen.Seriake, and they have decided to address this matter and also take their position and stand, countering almost everything that Dixon said. And they have laid out, also listing up a lot of things, canker worms and palmer worms along the way. We're going to give you full details on that, but before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, Rivers State Caucus in the National Assembly, as at a few hours ago, disclosed that the state is not under military rule, as alleged by Senator Sen.Seriake Dickson, who represents Bayelsa West Senatorial District. Now, the minority leader in the House of Representatives, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, who spoke on behalf of the caucus during a press briefing held in Abuja, accused the former Bayelsa State governor of instigating crisis in the state. While arguing that Senator Dixon is grossly incompetent and unfit to claim to protect democracy, Honorable Chinda accused him of desecrating the judiciary when he led talks and armed men to disperse and disrupt proceedings at the Federal High Court in the state while serving as governor. He said, and I quote him word for word, "We are members of the Rivers State Caucus in the National Assembly, which includes senators and members of the House of Representatives, and we have found it necessary to speak to Nigerians on incidents that occurred very recently. So you have these emergency press briefings by the Rivers State National Assembly Caucus to condemn Senator Sen.Seriake Dickson's unwarranted comment on Rivers State emergency rule. As members of the Rivers State Caucus in the National Assembly, we watch with utter dismay the vituperations of Senator Henry Dixon of Bayelsa West Senatorial District in his press briefings, wherein he expressed his anger at the emergency rule in Rivers State and chided the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria for not using June12 address before the National Assembly to restore suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara to office. Let it be categorically stated that Rivers State is not under military rule. The current administrator of the state, Vice Admiral retired Ibokete Ibas, is a retired military officer, just as Senator Dixon is himself a retired police corporal, but a serving senator. Both of them cannot be serving personnel of the armed forces. The implication of retirement is clear. Once an officer retires, he becomes a civilian, and any leadership role he occupies is subject to civilian laws, norms, democratic oversight. Now, to label the current administration as military or military rule is therefore misleading and intellectually disingenuous. The declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State was a necessary constitutional intervention aimed at preserving peace, protecting lives, and restoring institutional order. The decision was not taken lightly. It was prompted by the rising tide of political instability and executive rascality within the state. Also, the disregard for democratic institutions was one of the reasons why we had that declaration. This position was also confirmed by the Supreme Court judgment of 28th of February 2025. Wherein the Supreme Court clearly stated that there was indeed no government in the Rivers State the way it was being operated then. It is imperative to highlight that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, acted swiftly and decisively to prevent the escalation of violence and systematic breakdown that loomed over our beloved state. The bold step averted a full-blown crisis. Without that timely intervention, orchestrated chaos would have overwhelmed the mechanism of governance and civil society in the state. The state of emergency declared in Rivers State is not a breach of the Constitution. Rather, it is a legitimate tool provided in Section 305 of our Constitution to restore sanity within democratic structures are under serious threat It is, in fact, only recently that the suspended governor himself, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, publicly thanked Mr. President for saving the day when he declared the state of emergency in Rivers State. Therefore, Senator Sen.Seriake Dickson, the retired police officer, the retired police corporal, cannot cry more than the bereaved. It is extremely unfortunate that a former governor, a serving senator, and a retired police corporal, who by virtue of his police training is expected to maintain law and order, has decided to make undemocratic utterances capable of causing a breakdown of law and order in Rivers State, whilst indigenes of the state are still on the path of seeking peace, in order to ensure that we protect the lives of our people. It is on record that Senator Dixon, in one of his numerous visits to the suspended governor, promoted ethnic bigotry and biases that misled the governor and ultimately led to suspension. Senator Dixon is at it again. Recall, too, that the retired Corporal Dixon, as a serving governor of Bayelsa State, desecrated the judiciary when he led thugs and armed men to disperse and disrupt proceedings of the Federal High Court with the antecedents of Senator Dixon. We clearly hold that he is not qualified, he is grossly incompetent and unfit to claim to protect democracy. When he had the opportunity as a chief executive, his records are there. They speak for themselves. Consequently, the caucus cautions Senator Dixon, the Rivers State caucus, unequivocally and clearly sends a warning to Senator Dixon to stay clear of inciting Rivers people into any form of violence or attempting to cause any breakdown of law and order in our state. He is from Bayelsa State. If he wants to cause problems or crisis anywhere, let him go back to his home state and do so. We also call on the security agencies to put a tab on him and his actions, which are likely and capable of causing a breach of the peace, particularly now that the state is working towards restoring peace among our citizens. We also call on the Senate Committee on Ethics to commence an investigation into the unparliamentary actions of Senator Dixon. As a caucus, we will stand firm to follow up on this and ensure that this condemnable attitude of Senator Dixon is completely addressed. Also speaking, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Federal Character, Senator Orwell Onyaso, who wants Senator Dixon to stay clear of Rivers State politics, urged him to channel his energy towards improving infrastructure in Bayelsa. He said, and I quote, "First, I want to tell you that I align absolutely with what the leader of our caucus, the minority leader of the House of Representatives, has just told you. It's our collective view, and we will agree with it. But fortunately, I am in the same chamber in the Senate with Senator Dixon, and I know that those of us from the Niger Delta have the utmost duty, our people have the utmost duty to make meaningful contributions. I am equally aware that Bayelsa State, especially Bayelsa West, needs a lot of this activity to bring dividends of democracy to them. I want to tell you that these things are lacking. The appointments you see in Bayelsa today are the appointments they secure through their relationship with Rivers State. I'm not sure that my colleague has attracted anyone to his state or anything. None. I'm also aware that one of the most backward states in the country in terms of infrastructure is Bayelsa State. And so this energy could be channeled towards activities that will improve the infrastructural problems of Bayelsa State. So I join in appealing to my colleague Dixon that we should kill negative energy in our politics in Niger Delta State, in Niger Delta region area. Niger Delta area. Our members of the caucus, other members of the caucus are Senator Barry Mbigi, Honorable Deco, Honorable Solomon Bob, Honorable Felix Nweke, Honorable Kelechi Nwogu, Honorable Cyril Hart Godwin, Honorable Blessing Chigeru Amadi, and Honorable Victor Boza. Those were the words during the press release made by the lawmakers, Rivers State lawmakers, loyal to Sen.Seriake.